Hi everyone, welcome to video number 6 in the Argo 2020 Quick Start Guide video series. In this video, we'll be discussing how to view, edit, and save the forms in a grant application. Remember, by this point, you will have been able to find the Argo 2020 login page. You would have created your sponsor organization and an administrator account for that organization. You would have added users to your sponsor organization. You would have started your grant application, and you would have added any users outside of your organization in a role that you would like them to have, or you would have removed or changed the roles of the existing users in your organization. That's covered in the previous 5 videos. But in this video, we're going to talk about how to actually open the forms in the grant application and save them. So from the Argo 2020 homepage, you're going to log in using the account that you have as a user. Now at this point, it's not necessary to log in as a sponsor administrator. Anyone on your staff or anyone who's been added to the application that you've designated will be able to log into the system and work on the application. I am going to use the administrator account, but the steps that we're going to follow would hold true for the other kinds of accounts as well. So any user who logs in to the Argo home screen, they might not all see this view available opportunities. As we discussed in previous videos, only a sponsor administrator will see this because only a sponsor administrator can initiate a grant application. However, if I've been assigned or added to a grant application, I'm going to have an area of my screen here towards the bottom that says My Tasks. When I click Open Tasks, I'm going to be able to see the applications that are available to me to work on. Most of you are not going to have 6. There are going to be 1, maybe 2 in here. But in this example, we're going to go ahead and open the most recent one, which is the one detailed in our previous video. Remember, it's going to be named by the program, by the year. It's going to have that short name that you created when you set your account up, and then this number, right? This is the 36th application that this particular test organization has started. Okay, so when we click here on the name of the application, it's going to open the application, and we're going to see all of the forms that are involved in the application. You can work on these forms in any order that you like, but what I would always suggest is that you begin by reviewing the general information form. In this case, the general information form for the local parks grant is going to have some information about local parks. It's going to have information about the staff. It's going to have a due date for the application. Now remember, this is just a test application right now, so this is not the correct due date. This year's due date will be December the 4th, 2020, and you'll see that whenever you go to complete your application. That is the due date for local parks. This section details that you must have a DUNS number and a SAM number to submit the application. As we detailed in the previous video, in your sponsor profile, you'll want to make sure that those are accurate at the time that you actually submit your application. But you'll also see that there are scoring criteria links for each of the programs, right? And that will tell me, as I'm filling out the application, how it will be scored. There's the time frame for when the applications are open and when they're due. Remember, this is going to change a little bit in the live application. This is just for reference right now. You'll have a list of grant coordinators, and you'll have some technical support information, right? Now you'll notice there isn't anything to actually do on this form. However, you still have to review it, okay? And once you have fulfilled the requirements of each of these forms, you can simply either click Next to go to the next form, or you can hover here over your Forms menu and go to any form you want, okay? If you just click the link here, Forms menu, it will take you back to the general list. Now you'll notice that the rest of the forms in this application have a blank page next to them, but the general information form I just reviewed has a pencil. This means that I've done everything that I need to do with this form. Okay, I don't have anything to save and I don't have any other action. All I had to do was open it and read it. But if I were to go forward to the applicant information, there are some fields that I'll need to fill in. But the first thing that you'll notice here, one of the advantages of our new system is you went through all of the trouble to create a sponsor organization, and that took a little bit of extra time compared to our previous system. However, in your application, you don't have to type all this in. It just populates from your sponsor record. Likewise, if I'm going to put in my primary grant management contact for this application, I can simply choose the members of my sponsor organization. In this case, I'm going to choose Dana Sample. This will not populate until you after you click the Save button, okay? And you'll notice here in the instructions it mentions that. And I'll answer one more question. Is the primary grant management contact the person preparing this application? Yes. If I say no, then I'm going to have to put in who's preparing this, right? But in this case, we'll just say yes. We'll click Save or Save and Next. If I click Save and Next, it'll just take me right to the next form in the application, okay? So let's say that I'm filling this out and I've chosen a couple things, but I'm not ready to get into the rest of this yet, right? I'm not fully prepared to put all this information in. I can simply click Save on this form to hold the information that I have added, and you'll notice I get an error. Now this error only means that I have not fully put all of the information in the form, but the form is still saved. See, it still kept the two options that I've chosen here, all right? So if I go back to my Forms menu and I decide I want to work on something else, I know from this view, here are the forms that I've completed everything that I need to complete, okay? And this is a form that I have not completed everything that I need to, all right? When we get to the point where you want to submit your application, all of the icons next to these forms should look like this. When you have something that's got all of the pages with the pencil here, then it's ready to submit, okay? But that's how you open and work on the forms in a grant application. You'll just want to go through them. You'll want to save frequently and fill in all of the required fields. In the next video, we'll be talking about how to take a grant application that has all of the forms complete and submit it.